Kidding me? Go from one of the best players. It's hard for anybody. I'll be honest with you.
So that was Klay Thompson after the game talking to Anthony Slater of The Athletic, and he said, yeah, it's hard. He used to be one of the best players. He doesn't have it anymore.
Wow.
But he was happy to see the team win, and he's working on it. Trying to keep working at it and make some shots, and it's all he really can do.
Yeah, and I want to say I feel bad for him, but we're already past that because we know he's fighting. He's given us a glimpse in his life and where he was at. But, Steiny, it's just like this dude's a Don. He's done a lot for this team, and I get Anthony when we love Slates. He's doing his job, but, Steiny, it's almost like you're pressing the bruise, like you're rubbing on it. Like, do we want him to snap? At what point? Okay, he's not finishing. Now the coach is not playing into not the scholarship that you're above not finishing the game. It's about we're 3 games under 500, 4 going into that game. And Klay did say something, Steiny, to where I'll be watching. Thank God they won, because maybe had they lost, maybe his reaction is different. So that could be problematic. And maybe I'm off base if that's what I took from Klay, but he says it makes it easier to digest the fact that the team won. So I think this is what it is moving forward, and I respect and love Klay Thompson, but at the end of the day, the Warriors, Steiny, if Coach feels like you should be in over Klay, it ain't about Klay's reaction more so than the score of the game. That's where we're at now.
Well, the bottom line is but it is about Klay's reaction. Because we know Klay.
We love Klay.
We've known him for 12 years, and we have a relationship with Klay Thompson. So we are worried about his reaction because he's earned all the respect that he gets. So when I played that sound, I thought it was going to be something a little different.
Uh-huh.
The sound that I heard, we heard Klay Thompson talking to Slater, then Draymond Green jumped in. And then we heard Klay finish up. First of all, you didn't have a problem with what Slater was talking to Klay about, did you?
No, but that's all the social media and everybody is talking about. It's like it's bigger than Klay, and Klay will tell you that. And if I were a doctor, which I'm not, clinical, I would say to Klay Thompson, if this is going to be something that's going to happen moving forward, I think Klay would be better in another uniform, Steiny. For me to know what I've been and the heights I've reached in this uniform, because I still think he can shoot, I would take Klay.
That's a totally fair question by Anthony Slater.
I didn't say it wasn't.
Oh, I thought you were saying Slater shouldn't be going down his road.
The fans' reaction is they're almost the ones that are anti-Klay are like, they love this. They want to see him down and out, or what they feel down and out. And it's like, dude, you're late to the party. He's already told you he's not the same player. He still can shoot. I'm saying if it were me, Steiny, and I'm on this Warrior team, maybe you put me in a Laker uniform or another uniform, I might be a better version of myself because I'm not watching guys play before me that I know a couple years ago had no chance to hold a candle to me.
Klay Thompson's a champion, 4-time champion, and over the course of his entire career, we as Warrior fans have always known there's a mental component to Klay's game that is absolutely, positively part of who he is. How's he going to handle things? He talked about not sacrificing, all those kind of things. So it's absolutely fair to wonder how Klay Thompson's doing on a night when he doesn't finish because he's not playing well enough to finish. To me, what stuck out about that was Slater's talking to Klay Thompson. And Klay Thompson's been around here for 13 or 14 years, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And Klay Thompson starts answering the question.
Opening up.
In a way that only Klay Thompson can. And I'm starting to listen to Klay Thompson talk about how, it is tough. It's tough not closing when you used to be a great player. And all I want to do is hear more about Klay Thompson talk about where he's at and he's being sincere about it. He's being truthful about it. He's not agitated at all with Slater in the video. And then out of nowhere, Draymond Green just comes in and takes over the conversation that he's not a part of and said, hey, they benched me in the fourth quarter of a game in the finals. And it just, I don't know. It just was another reminder that Draymond, no, man, he's a lot of work.
And maybe he thought he
Klay,
was
to me, was in the middle of something.
No doubt.
He was in the middle of something.
So
That's
Draymond actually interjected before the conversation even happened. Like Draymond sensed that someone was going to ask him that question. So before Slater even asked Klay about not closing, Draymond interjected with what you heard. So Slater followed up by saying, hey, Draymond, I'm about to ask him, but he hadn't asked him yet. So he got in front of it.
Okay. Does that change anything?
Well, I think it points to Draymond being in his, like, he didn't even give Klay a chance to, I don't know if you take that as him trying to defend him or him trying to insert himself or what, but we didn't know what Klay was going to answer with.
Like, I just wanted to hear more of Klay in that moment.
Klay hadn't even talked yet.
So I didn't need, but Draymond Green did at some point midway through, I believe, re-enter the conversation, if I'm not mistaken.
Draymond said, what are they asking you? They asked, I got benched. So the conversation had already started about that. Right. And then when he was getting ready, he was really opening up, Dre starts singing verses to a song nobody cared about, knowing that he was being loud and we couldn't focus in on Klay. So some could look at it like Evan, Dre was coming to his rescue. I thought, like, Dre, let this man open up. This is his moment. It ain't got nothing to do with you. Let him finish what he's saying. Damn. Have some respect.
That's where I was on.
What are they asking you about? Nobody asked about when you got benched. Damn.
I agree. Like,
this ain't even about this. My journey. Can I finish answering the question?
We agree on that wholeheartedly. Especially because it was Klay.
He was opening up, man.
Anyway,
yeah.
Kaminga.
What is there to say, man? He may be your second best player right now.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to get into rankings or people, it's about the Warrior team, I get that. But right now, Steiny, something's clicked. He's balling. And you just, like I said, they got to win tomorrow because this thing can't keep going back to 4 or 5 games over the under. And you know what I'm saying? There's got to, what did you say the other day? I'm paraphrasing. I don't give a damn who's playing well, Goo. They're not gaining any traction.
Right.
So now it's about the record. And if they can somehow beat Philly tomorrow, who got dusted by Dallas last night, you got to start somewhere. No doubt about it. That helps. But
you know what's crazy?
I don't like the Indiana game. The night will be, they got a back-to-back. They got Philly and then Indiana.
I know you're going to think I'm crazy, but you know what's weird? If you look at the standings, it's a good thing the Warriors won that game last night. Like the 6 teams all ahead of them won. So here's one thing. What was I thinking about with the Warriors? Not Kaminga. Oh, let me just throw this out at you. And we don't have to get to the bottom of it, but the trading deadline's coming up in 2 days. Yep. 2 days. Warriors are 22 and 25. So I'm watching that game last night against Brooklyn, and they're win the game, and it's a game, okay, right? It's a game. And I'm looking at the Warriors, and I'm thinking of Steph Curry. He's coming off his 60. But I'm looking at the Warriors.
All right.
And here's what I'm thinking. Like, okay, why don't one time in your life, Steiny, you look at something from the other side, and maybe it's that the Warriors do owe Curry. Okay, so I'm watching this game last night. Like, how much longer can the Warriors put Steph Curry out there with Lester Quinones, Pods, Santos, Jackson, Trace Davis.
But you got to,
Trace Jackson Davis.
Use your words, Donnie. It's nuance. They're not that's not what they were aiming to do.
But they're doing it. But my point is,
guys are
right.
okay.
Okay, fine.
Right, so Steph's still playing, right?
The question remains. So how much longer can you kind of put that type of team around Steph.
Well, GP2, I believe, is going to start practicing today or sometime soon.
Put Saric in there? Fine, put Saric in there. Right. You want to put Moody in there? Fine, put Moody in there.
I'm not being a smartass, Donnie. I guess until he revolts, and that's not going to happen. Like, obviously, he can't say this is not good enough. I'm better than everybody. I'm talking about Steph.
Right.
So it looks like, going off of words, they're not going to make a move in 48 hours. They're dancing with who they brought, and Steph's playing his ass off. Nobody's perfect. That was the first time since 2014 they won a game shooting 18% from three or less. And you got away with that because it was Brooklyn. Like, just moving forward, they got to collectively be better than that. And Podziemski, Steiny, I don't even – this guy's IQ on the court is just Oppenheimer. Like, he's just – I'm not saying he's got all the talent in the world, but he's smart, man.
Yeah, I think he's half and half.
Seventh, eighth man in the rotation.
No, I mean, I don't necessarily think he's a super smart player.
Oh, wow. So you're not impressed, or?
No, he's a nice player. But I wouldn't say, like, I know he leads the league in charges.
And he has an impact, Steiny. Look at him rebounding.
You said smart, and I think he does some stuff that's not very smart.
But for a rookie,
I think he reaches a lot.
For a rookie.
Right, but you said smart. I think he's good.
Yeah.
I think he's been a solid contribution.
So you're giving him nothing in the smart category.
I'm saying he's half.
Oh.
Like, he's clever. He can slide in.
He's farther than
smart.
that for me, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what is he? Is he an all-star?
No, I'm not. I don't feel comfortable going.
Is he a starter? Or a rotation player?
Give me one more season of him, and I'll be able to tell you. But right now, he's helping and important to this team and closing games with the likes of Draymond and Steph Curry. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't feel comfortable telling you.
Can they win? Can they win enough of these games consistently as they overlap with Steph Curry?
That I don't know. And the one thing about Pods, I don't like finishing, Steiny, and I don't want to put it all at his doorstep. They hunt him on defense sometimes in crunch moments. He's not the biggest dude.
He's a rookie.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to come with the territory.
But there's more bang for the buck than, if you say, it's half, but there's some other stuff that's way past half. And that's his IQ, his passing, his cutting ability, his rebounding. Free throw shooting got to get way better, 60%, somewhere around.
So does the other kid, the other rookie. They all do. They all need to be better free throw shooters.
I hope Wiggins is back sooner than later, man, because Vanderbilt had the same injury. I'm not saying it's severe, but he's out 4 to 6 weeks with a sprained foot, and that's what Wiggins allegedly has.
Steiny, you still think JK is a future third option? Yeah, I do, on a really good team. Why not? Why not? Like, when I think of the great Lakers team, I think of Magic, Kareem, and Worthy.
Wow, Wiggins probable for tomorrow, so that's good news.
Is he?
Yep.
Ooh, showcase. Legacy game? Could be a legacy game for Wiggins.
Who's been playing better, Steiny?
Could be his last.
Oh, my gosh.
Treading water, though.
I hear you.
Still 3 games under.
God,
how do you explain that? How's Steph playing? Seriously, how's Steph playing?
Here lately, great.
How's Kaminga playing?
Great.
How about Wiggins?
Better.
Draymond?
Better.
Pods?
Better.
How come they're not making any? How come they?
Because it's more than.
Why no traction?
Because they're not the biggest team. They got a problem with size. They got a problem with turnovers. They got a problem with shooting. So they got a problem with defense. That's bigger than just one man.
But if you think they're playing pretty well right now.
Well, I won't say well. Atlanta bothered me. That was a game you could have won. You didn't win.